Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're working on the Nissan Datsun pickup. Yeah, I'm not sure what you want to call this thing. This is a 1970 Datsun pickup cab being morphed with a 1995 Nissan hardbody. Chassis, frame, firewall, floorboard, engine, you name it. It's all being kind of morphed together with this old cab right here. So yeah, in today's video, we're going to try to get our air box to fit in this cab. It just does not want to fit. The box is too big, the cab is too small. Lots of fabricating going to go on to try to get that straightened out. Also, the truck sounds terrible, and I thought maybe we would get in there and do something with the exhaust, even if it's just temporarily. I got to do something, man, because I can't stand the way this thing sounds. So bear with me for just a minute. We are going to get in there and we're going to cut that box to pieces and see if we can't get it to fit in there. Okay, so that had to have bought us a little bit of room, and that's really all we need is just that little bit. And then of course we can come back and cap that off with a piece of plastic. We'll glue it in real nice. So let's go try this out, see if it fits. Hopefully, cross your fingers, we won't have to trim anymore. All right, give me just a minute. I'm gonna clean up in here just a little bit, and then we're gonna find out if that box fits. All right, that's much better. I feel like I have been swimming in metal shavings the whole time I've been working on this because they're just starting to really pile up. I've been kind of avoiding blowing this out with my air gun because I don't want to stir all that up and breathe it in. So I finally broke down and got the old shop vac out. So anyway, let's get back to this guy. So this is the problem that we're having, is that this Datsun is just too small. The Nissan was way bigger, so this isn't wanting to fit in there anymore. It's supposed to go, let's see, it goes just like this, right up in this small, tight little space. So we may have to do some more trimming either on this or maybe even into the pillar there. I don't know. So you can see over here on the hinge pillar where we had to kind of notch out just a little bit, not to worry. I made a piece. We can go in here and cap this right back off and close that all right back in again. It'll be nice and strong. And this just bought us a little bit of room. This came out, you can see right here, it came out as a big corner. Well, we need it inside of there just a little bit. So anyway, no big deal. Shouldn't compromise the integrity of the strength and any of that. We should be fine. You can see it actually slides right into the hole now. That's awesome. It's got a nut that goes on the bottom. We'll get that on and get it tightened up, and then it's going to have another one up here at the top that goes in. So there it is, finally in there after all that trimming. It's fitting fine. I don't think we'll have any issues with it. Now I can come around over here to the other side and tack it over here. Got my next piece ready to go in. That's just going to cap that right there. Let's put that into position and get it welded. I think that's going to work right there. It's all boxed back in, and now we have access to our hinge bolts there. That's what's going on inside of there. That's why you can't close any of that off. So anyway, that'll give it its strength back and give us the room that we need for that box. I had to drill out a couple of spot welds right here. I gotta separate these two panels because I'm going to stick a panel right in between them. So I've got me a brand new filler piece all trimmed up, ready to go. I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of slide this up in here, and I want to wedge it between these two panels. There's two panels right here on top of each other, and I want to kind of sandwich it right in between there. Kind of bring it on around this way, kind of fill all that in, and then we'll work this up into here like that. And once we get this all fitting in here just right, you can see how we're kind of closing off part of our hole. We'll just cut the hole back out. It'll be fine, but all of that will be filled. You see there where right now it's not. So we got to get that all filled in. Got my piece clamped down. I'm going to get a few tacks going. I want to run a few welds on the inside too. So take a look on the inside. We're welding up this corner right here, and I had to cut a section out right here. It was a raised area and it just wasn't working. I needed it to be flat, and that's actually going to be a mounting point for our blower motor box. It mounts right here, so we'll probably weld a nut or something right there for a bolt to screw into. That'll be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get in here and finish up welding up this area, and then of course we have to attach it to this point here, so we'll have to clamp it up or something. Okay, the next piece going in. So now that I got that piece started, I want to take this piece and just kind of slide it right up in here. Something like this. It's going to be my next piece. We'll get all that clamped together and welded, and I know that looks a little bit weird, but not to worry. We will cut this out into the shape of that blower box. And another thing, we've got an added little piece here that's got to go in, and what that does is that creates a raised up area for when water goes down into the vent here. It can roll through here and then drain out of the weep holes and what have you, but it won't go down into the blower motor because it'll have this raised area that goes around, you see. And that's all factory. That's how they did them from the factory, so that we're going to put it back the way it went. Obviously we'll have to do a little more trimming. We had to downsize the hole just a tiny bit, nothing major. This top line is the outline of the original hole, and then we're going to have to come just a little bit smaller because I need to bring it down just a hair. It shouldn't be a problem. That's nothing. I don't think it'll be anything that's going to affect anything. We'll cut the hole out with this die grinder with the little metal cutting blade on it there, and then we'll come back with this other one that's got this other blade on it to kind of finish it off, you know, kind of dress the hole up, if you will. Alrighty, we'll switch on over to the reamer bit and kind of file it right back to that line, get it just right. Pulled the box out of the way so we can get some clamps in here. We're going to clamp these pieces together, finish weld the rest of this. So I was thinking about using this piece. This is the one that came off of it, but it's such an awkward shape and it just doesn't fit right anymore. And rather than sit around and try to trim on it and make it fit and all of that, I'm gonna get rid of it and I'm just gonna make another one. We're gonna stand this one up here. We're gonna weld it in and we're gonna wrap it around this shape, and then we'll file it down or cut it down or whatever until this thing will come along and sit back over the top of it. You see what I'm saying? Tack number one. All right, we'll just go all the way around this thing. Just bend it as we go. So yeah, we'll just tack that in and we'll just sit here and just bend it on around as we go. And then we'll put another tack right there and then we'll bend it around. We'll just keep going around. See if we could trim a little off the end here. Might work. Let's see where that gets us. Boy, it's coming together now. How you like that? Now, obviously it's too tall, and we'll have to grind it down like I mentioned so that our cap will fit down on it. You see there where that's going to hold us up just a bit. That's okay though. We only need it to be raised up just a little bit. That way when water runs through here, it doesn't just fall right down the hole. That's what this is for. In case you were wondering, in case I didn't explain it good enough. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and tap this on around and keep on welding, and we'll go through and weld it all up solid like we did this side. I'll get us another piece cut for across the top. All we need is a little thin strip to go across the top of that hole. And then finally we can move out of this section, go on to something else. Okay, so there it is all welded up. I want to get in here with my light. Make sure I don't see any light shining through my welds. Good. We'll probably end up seam sealing them anyway, but you know, just to be on the safe side. So now what I got to do is take my grinder and trim this down because it's sticking up a little bit too high. Well, okay, there it is, all trimmed up, nice, ready to go. I need another big piece to go into the side here, and I don't have one. I'm gonna have to go down and find me a piece somewhere, some sheet metal or something. You guys remember, this is what it's supposed to look like when we're done. This is the big piece that we need, so I'm gonna have to hunt up something somewhere. But anyway, I think I've had enough welding on all of that for now. We've been messing with this for a little while. We've actually managed to weld across the front here. We filled in that piece. We've almost made it to the halfway point. And then all that's left is just one little piece over there. We'll be done with this cab welding, and I'm looking forward to it. I've already welded in the side. You guys see all down the side is completely welded. I got just a little bit more left there. I ran out of welding wire. Ain't that how it is? You run out of welding wire when you only have about this much left to go. So I do have to go back, finishing that, just that little spot, and we're good to go. But everything is fitting now. That's the best part, man. We got a the blower box and everything where it actually fits in the hole, and that's what's important. I swear I've been building this entire truck around that air conditioning, man. I'm hell bent on having air conditioning in this old truck. I don't care how much work it is. I'm gonna take a break from this for just a second. I got a little side project just showed up. So yeah, we put a transmission in this one a few years back, and she is still going strong. This is a clean little truck, man. 1995 model. Look at the interior, no rips or anything in there, man. Really nice, good looking truck. Completely 100% rust free on this one. I mean, there's no rust on it anywhere. Except for this rust here, check it out. That's quite a bit of rust. This is the original exhaust system for this truck, man. I think he got his money's worth out of it. What do you think? So here we go with the cherry bombs again. Check these out, y'all. These are pretty cool. This is unsponsored content, nothing like that. But we do like these. I've been putting these old cherry bombs on just about everything around here. And check it out. We got some of these here. Little bitty guy. Cherry Bomb Extreme. I've never heard these before. I'm really curious what this is going to sound like. See what it sounds like. That don't sound half bad, and it sounds a hell of a lot better than this old rusty one did. So in the last video, we fired this thing up, and it ran fine, but it sounded terrible. It had a massive exhaust leak right here where the smog stuff used to go. You can see this tube right here wide open. That was our exhaust leak, made it sound terrible. We're deleting all that crap. Eventually it's actually gonna have a header on it, so we don't need any of that stuff. I'm just gonna plug it off. Out back you can see it's got an old rusty junky muffler on it. We're gonna get rid of that too while we're at it. I wanna see if I can make it sound a little better. It's kind of inspirational, you know, when it sounds good. Fire it up for you in case you missed it on the last one. See if we can get in here with the old Sawzall. Get rid of this thing. Bye-bye. See about welding it shut now. Okay, so now that we got that plugged off, let's cut it about right here and get rid of all of that garbage. Let's take off this exhaust hanger. I'm going to go ahead and save it in case I want to reuse it for my new exhaust. You never know. I mean, it's a good rubber hanger. Why throw it away? Got one more hanger there, and then another one back here that somebody's hit it up with the old baling wire. Go ahead and cut that off now. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of WD-40 or something on there, kind of help them slip off. Oh, we got another one over here actually. Oh, there we go. That's it. Finally, all of them. Well, if I can get all this out from under there without cutting it in half or not. We'll try it. Exhaust for such a little truck. It looks like it's all going to come out. Oh, look at this little tiny muffler. Little bitty guy right there. Well, alright, so I found me a muffler out in the old scrap pile that I think is going to work pretty good for this. It muffles the sound down a little bit, but nothing too drastic, so it's still got a nice kind of a growly sound to it, you know. Okay, let's see if we can get us a few tack welds on it. We're just going to eyeball it. We're not going to get too crazy with it. Probably somewhere about right in there, I would think. Let's try that out. How's this for an exhaust tip, man? Y'all think that's big enough? Now that's an exhaust tip right there, I'll tell you what. Let's see what it sounds like. Probably obnoxiously loud. What do you want to bet? Yeah, it's loud. Yeah, it ought to get the job done for now until we get our side pipes built for it. I'm not even going to start on the side pipes until we're done welding the rest of this cab and we get the front end on it at least. But hey, we are getting there. Look at there, man. One step closer, and we got to keep our AC and all that good stuff, man. That is a big accomplishment in my opinion. So yeah, to have the vintage looks of 1970 with some modern air conditioning and all of that, and it's all factory air conditioning from 1995, so I can just go right down to AutoZone and buy whatever part I need for it if I ever need to service it or what have you. So anyway, man, I want to thank y'all for joining me today. Another boring little welding video, I know, but man, there's just tons and tons of welding to do on this. I mean, even after we're done with the cab, we still got to weld the frame, and like I said, we got to build those pipes. Lots of stuff to do, man. We got to shorten this frame, you guys, and then we got to set it up for airbags and all that kind of stuff. So tons of work to go on it. But I am so happy working my way out of that corner. That was the hardest part of this entire thing so far, and I kind of knew it was going to be that way because the whole time we were trying to get the old cab to mate with this new firewall, everything over in that corner was in the way, man. I might have mentioned it before, the Nissan cab was slightly bigger than the Datsun cab. Hence the old floorboard sticking out. We still got to trim that off and move our cab mounts that way. Yeah, we had a little bit too much this way, and we had a little bit too much this way. It's too wide as well. The frame's too long, the drive shaft's too long. I mean, it's just the way it is, man. These kind of projects are like this, and we just got to make all the pieces fit together. But hey, so far so good, man. We're doing all right. That turned out pretty nice. I like that. Just a little bit more welding along the front there. We'll be good, man. We'll be out of the cab finally, and then we can weld on our inner structure for the front end so we can start hanging fenders, radiator support, and all of that. Once we get out of that, I feel like that's going to be a lot easier than what we've been doing. But hey, that's going to be for a future video, you guys. Like I said, thanks for joining me. I do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I will see you guys next time.